There's a new sheriff of town in NXT.
What up, Mox?
Guys, our time for an NXT review and reaction. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let's get right into it with William Regal coming out to start off the show. Obviously, you remember from NXT TakeOver in Your House, the way the show ended, William Regal in tears saying that he just lost control of the brand of the roster and changes need to be made. It seems as if he is going to relinquish his GM duties. He's having a passionate promo, an emotional promo in the ring. And before he can say that he's done and he's quitting, he's stepping away, he gets interrupted by Karrion Kross. Now, this entire time, you know, if you saw my review along with West Coast Pop of NXT In Your House, we were contemplating, is he a heel Karrion Kross? Is he a babyface? Is he a tweener? I completely assume after tonight, he's officially just a straight up heel, because it was an extremely heel thing for him to come out and just, you know, bury, Regal like that and say that he's pathetic for crying and that he's been waiting for this moment for him to relinquish the GM position. As this is going down, you hear the returning Samoa Joe's music. We called it, knew it was going to happen, right? It seemed like it was just the most plausible thing, but with a little bit of a twist, he gets there and he's announced as, well, he denies, he does not accept the GM position. He says he wants to be more of like an enforcer for NXT, while William Regal stays there and he will enforce the law and pretty much be what Stone Cold Steve Austin was, the sheriff of of the show, and kind of just come down and just whip ass. But he's not an in-ring competitor, which for now he's not. But they were teasing a lot of this throughout, because he would get in Kross's face, tell him, "What are you doing here? Get out of this ring." Then
tick tock, young champion.
Then you would get this with Adam Cole, and he's choking Adam Cole out.
Do you understand?
Cole out and putting him to sleep minutes later. Then you would get this, where he goes face to face with Johnny Gargano, tells Johnny Gargano, "Get the hell out."
Then,
what do you need, buddy? Anything.
Get out.
Okay. Good talk. This is great. Thank you for being here.
Hell out. Then you would get this, where he goes face to face with Pete Dunne, has to stare down. So a lot of teams.
Gentlemen, please.
Has to stare down. So a lot of teasing, a lot of foreshadowing. We could see him get in the ring with all four of them, because he didn't get in the face of Kyle O'Reilly. But yeah, Samoa Joe's back. You love to see it.
Yeah, love to see it. I love the fact that Joe's back, but he's back as not the commissioner, because he's kind of limited in the commissioner role,
yes,
right? He can't really have matches as a commissioner. He can't just do what he wants to do as commissioner. He basically has to set matches and be the guy that just makes things happen. But as the enforcer, you know, NXT's Arn Anderson, he can just go in there and doesn't have to have a match. He can just choke people out. He can destroy people. He can intimidate everyone. He can occasionally be thrown into a match when it needs to happen. But he's always around. He's always involved. It's perfect. I love the move by NXT. I love the call. He's way better than him being an announcer or even being an in-ring guy, because we're not sure if he's cleared to wrestle right now. And he's older. He was getting hurt regardless. He wasn't in the, he's not the same guy he was in 2006 with having those crazy matches with Kurt Angle. So I think this makes perfect sense. And I'm sure he'll be in a match at some point later down the road, but this is good. He's going to be involved with everyone. He's going to be the commissioner. He's going to destroy anybody that acts up. You know, they were running the asylum, the wrestlers at NXT. Now there's somebody there that can control him, that can choke him out. And he proved today within 10 minutes of him being on the job. So, just love it. I completely love it. What a good call to have Samoa Joe back, but I love it. Special enforcer. Come on. He fits that perfectly.
He does, and he steps up admirably to Kross, the bigger guy. Remember, he took on 4 other smaller guys. He steps up big to him. So, I mean, Kross, you obviously can see in his face, everybody's intimidated by Samoa Joe. So it's awesome to get him back in the ring this way, and then eventually maybe let it lead into a final run for him in NXT if he's able to get cleared. All right, so that was a tremendous start to the show, the return of Samoa Joe. Next thing in the show, they're playing out my boys Breezango, because they're taking on Imperium, and Breezango didn't even get an entrance, right? Which is fine. Whatever. I mean, I guess, you know.
I mean, this was a picture-in-picture match. The entire match is basically picture-in-picture.
Exactly. But surprisingly, Breezango gets the win, and then, Imperium beats them down and then lays them out and then puts a flag over the top of Breezango. So that feud seems to continue. I don't know where it's headed. Is it headed for Walter to come and just destroy Breezango? I don't know. But it was what it was.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was picture in picture. I could barely see the match, what was going on, but Breezango won, so that's good. Is this going to lead to something bigger? I don't know. They got their ass beat at the end of it, but yeah, at least they got a win, and they were sort of on the show. Majority of it was in the little box, but they were on the show, so there's that.
Yeah, definitely. Now, next thing on the show was the NXT Cruiserweight Open Challenge. It was Kushida, the champion, issuing an open challenge. It will be answered by Trey Baxter, a new up-and-coming guy in the NXT. His debut in NXT, he's highly touted as a high flyer and everything like that. And you got to see what he's made of in this match with a lot of big area moves, a lot of fun stuff from him. It was a fun, exciting match. Kushida's just absolute tremendous in-ring performer. Interesting enough, Kyle O'Reilly was outside the ring for majority of this match, kind of cheering Trey Baxter on and giving him kind of like a, an endorsement, seems like. Then Kushida gets the win in a very, very fun, good match between the two. So good showing by Trey Baxter. He gets the win. Kyle O'Reilly gets in the ring, challenges Kushida to a match next week. So that's a pay-per-view quality match you're gonna get on NXT television next week.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good match, a good showing by this Baxter kid. He, maybe that down the road he'll be something, but right now that was a good way to start. I mean, against Kushida, he's quietly becoming one of the top 5 in-ring guys in the world, if not already top 3 or whatever. Just he's that good. He's just so good. And him versus O'Reilly, it just kind of elevates. O'Reilly was literally in a championship match just 2 days ago or 3 days ago, whatever it was, and now he's asking for a match against Kushida. It just shows how good Kushida is and how much respect he deserves and gains. So I mean, it was a solid little segment there, and in fact, I'm excited for this match.
Yeah, I am too. It's gonna be a solid, great match between the two of these guys next week on NXT. The next thing on the show, we have the coronation of LA Knight, your new $1 million champion, after he won the ladder match against Cameron Grimes at NXT TakeOver in your house in that ladder match. So he's coming out. Ted DiBiase in the ring. LA Knight comes out, drives up in a white Corvette. For some reason, they all drive white cars. For some reason, I don't know why. I guess that's if you're $1 million man, you drive a car that can get easily look dirty at any moment, at any time, right? So he comes out and he's gonna cut a regular promo, LA Knight promo. He stops himself and then cuts a personal promo. Voice change, the cadence changes. He talks to him normally, to Ted DiBiase, praising him and said, since I was a kid, me and my dad used to watch you on TV. All my friends wanted to be you. We always wrestled. We would imitate you and all that stuff like that. He's awarded the title from Ted DiBiase. The fireworks go off, the sparklers and everything like that. Then he says, now after I've accomplished everything that I want, now I have to get rid of what I don't want. LA Knight clocks Ted DiBiase, drops him, stomps him out.
And now that I have everything that I want, it's time to drop what I don't need.
Stomps him out. And then here comes Cameron Grimes. He slides in the ring and he chases off LA Knight, and he's the de facto babyface here. Obviously, he's the babyface turn, full babyface turn. You see it here, full on babyface turn for Cameron Grimes, and we'll see that going on. So it seems like Cameron Grimes will have DiBiase in his corner for that eventual rematch for that $1 million championship, which I think Cameron Grimes will end up winning and getting that title.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect little way to continuing this feud going forward. You kind of just flip them around and kind of, they're both kind of heels, and now they're just we're establishing one as a babyface and one as a heel. And LA Knight just looks like the more natural, dominant heel. That's the way he needs to come off. So I think that's a perfect way to go in there. You get the sympathy because you knock out the old man that was literally gave you the belt and gave you this shot, and now you're just pissed off. And Cameron Grimes comes in and will now be managed by Ted DiBiase. You figure going forward that will be his guy, and then try to get that title back in the $1 million championship hand. So I think it's a smart move, and I think it's going to be a solid to a very good feud between two guys that, LA Knight's only been here a few months. Cameron Grimes and this new character has only been here a few months this way, and I think it's a good first long storyline that can really grow both guys.
Yeah, definitely. And I think after this, we may see LA Knight get a move up to the main roster, because he just feels like that level of performer is the main roster level performer, just his style, his cadence, and everything like that. Now, I did credit to LA Knight for being able to cut a different style promo, a more personal style, and stumble his words and feel like he can't get certain words out. I don't think that was,
No, I think it on purpose, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it was on purpose, but it was tremendous that it came off so naturally to him. If he was actually doing it, if he was actually coming from the heart and eventually just,
Guys got
turn and exactly, he really, really does. So shout out to LA Knight there. We'll see that feud flesh out longer and where it ends up in the end. Next thing on the show, Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, they're still beefing with Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. You see that backstage. They're taking on Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. Casey Catanzaro coming back from the, I think it was an LCL injury. She's rehabbed. The tag team is back together, and they'd have a solid match together. They really would. These four women have really good chemistry. They did well. It was a well done match. In the end, Gonzalez and Kai get the win. Now, we have some tag teams in play here now because, again, if you watch my live stream with West Coast Pop over the NXT TakeOver In Your House review, we discussed a bit about what they're going to do with the tag team division. I felt like Raquel Gonzalez's title may be put on the back burner just a little bit, just so they can build some more tag teams for that women's division, because it is in dire need of that. LeRae and Indy Hartwell just don't have a ton of competitors come for those titles, but we got the return of a tag team and the creation of another tag team in the show, and you see Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez still vying for that tag team title. So Gonzalez and Kai will get the win here, but Catanzaro, Carter back, they're in the fold when it comes to tag team wrestling. So we'll see where they go forward with this.
Yeah, I thought that was a great match. I thought it was, both teams looked good. Seeing Catanzaro and Carter back, and this was probably their best showing as a tag team. They were around, but they just never felt important. They felt kind of like a filler through most of their matches. But this was actually a really good match. I liked it. I dug both ladies. I thought for a second that Catanzaro might win the match because, I don't know, it's not like Raquel and Dakota Kai have been really dominant, so it's like this. They really could have lost the match, and they played that well. But yeah, I mean, the tag team division and the women's tag team division in NXT looks really popular. Like it's going. They're building it. They're building like the whole depth. There's something interesting, and it's, man, just look at this title compared to, I can't even think of who the tag team champions are on the main roster right now. I know it's Tamina and Natalia, but like, who cares? Honestly.
Yeah, but they have no competitors, no people to rival with.
Storyline, nothing.
Exactly. Yeah. So that leads perfectly into the next segment where Io Shirai will come out, and she's gonna talk about, she made her return last week. She gets interrupted by Candice LeRae. Obviously, they've had issues stemming back for a while now. And then Indy Hartwell will come in, attack Shirai. They would beat her down, and then here comes Zoe Stark to help out Shirai. So there's the formation of a new tag team. Right there, you can buy time and have Indy and LeRae defend those titles against Stark and Shirai. Also, you have Gonzalez and Kai lurking. You still have Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon, and you have Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. So right there, you have a formidable style of tag teams that can vie for that title. So solid stuff in terms of building tag teams to face your champions.
Yeah, no stables here needed. All you need is a couple tag teams. You build a nice little division. You got a solid depth on the roster and you have to see them every week. You can see them once every other week or every 2 weeks. You see them. It's like, it's perfect. They're doing a great job, and they did it basically all in one night. Yep. They basically built 3 tag teams in one night. So congrats to NXT. Congrats to Shawn Michaels. Triple A, Shawn Michaels, and the rest of the crew there. Doing a great job, man. It's the best wrestling show on TV. Come at me if you think differently, because you're wrong. Sorry, but you're wrong.
Yeah, and in terms of like in the States, I think it's the best consistently solid wrestling show on TV.
Yes. Not
too many flaws, and it's very solid, very believable, realistic in terms of how it's presented. So this next thing we got on the show is the Tornado Tag match. Ciampa and Thatcher taking on the Grizzled Young Veterans. Tornado rules. Everything goes crazy here. Nuts, yeah. Tremendous match. Grizzled Young Veterans are such a good tag team. They will, mark my words, be the next NXT Tag Team Champions. I think they are next in line to get those titles, even though they lost the match here, okay? They lost the match, right? But I still think they're going to be the next NXT Tag Team Champions. I honestly do believe that, and if they're not the next, they'll beat whoever beats MSK next, and they'll sooner rather than later will be the NXT Tag Team Champions. I think they deserve it. It's a tremendous tag team.
Because 1 year from now they'll be Tag Team Champions.
Well, I mean, yeah, hopefully not that long, but I hope sooner rather than later they are Tag Team Champions. But it was a tremendous match between the two teams that are so work well together. I love Thatcher and Ciampa as a tag team. I think it's a tremendous mix. 2 crazy looking bastards, and I think it's an awesome mix. But it was an awesome match, a tremendous way to end the show. But it's an NXT Takeover quality match. This match should have been on that card of In Your House. It needed this match on that card rather than Mercedes Martinez versus like Xia Li. You could have removed that match and added this match to that show.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. This match was awesome. What a way to end the great show. Just from top to bottom, this show was like basically flawless. There wasn't one thing I could nitpick. I don't think we say anything bad about this show. That's how good it was a show. And this main event just added a great exclamation point on the entire night. I loved it. Thatcher and Ciampa, oh my god, like there's just two guys that usually a tag team is built on like a bigger and a smaller guy, or a high flyer and a submission guy, just have that difference. These guys are the same style. They just beat the shit out of you and they just destroy you, and everything looks hard and painful, and I love it. They work so well. I mean, Ciampa and Gargano were a great tag team. Give this team a little more time and they might be at that level. I know those are big words because DIY was like, historically great, but these guys are really good together. And what a great way to end the night. Tag team championships, both women's and men's in NXT are basically flawless at the moment. I feel like any team is viably can be a champ and be successful at being the champion right now. That's how good that depth was built in NXT. The women's division basically built tonight. I can't beat it, man. It was just, NXT is like, it's just such a pleasure to sit down and watch 2 hours of solid wrestling every night or every Tuesday night. I love it. I mean, thank you, boys, NXT. Great job.
Yeah, it's done really, really well. We'll get Thatcher and Ciampa most likely against MSK soon for those tag team championships. I honestly think, whatever, Grizzled Young Veterans next tag team champs. I called it right here. So I think
I'm gonna say Thatcher and
Ciampa lose, and then they beat MSK or something like that. I just think they're gonna be tag team champions.
Great American Bash should be interesting. It should be a good show, guys.
We should, because we are gonna get Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole again at Great American Bash. So that's another match you're gonna get there, Great American Bash, right there on July 7th. I believe it is on a Tuesday. 6th. So that's our NXT review and reaction. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you drop a like on us. Hit the chair in the corner for hits you first and sub to the channel. What else we got for you? We got some stuff planned this week, hopefully dropping tomorrow, 5:15 p.m. Eastern time. Got my boy Max from WrestleMania UK and Dan from DWE joining me again. My every time predictors that come on with me to do the predictions. We're gonna do the Hell in a Cell predictions live stream. So make sure you tune in at 5:15 Eastern time p.m. so you can see us predict Hell in a Cell. And yeah, we got some other stuff planned for you. And then Friday, the two big reviews. Hopefully we can get those out there. It's been kind of tough because of the back-to-back shows and it ending so late, but whatever. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And remember, if it doesn't work for you, bro, do not do the job.
Later, Marks.